Alrighty guys, the return of the king. Is it on or is it not? I'm talking about John Brzenk, of course. Now, King of the Table 2, happening in Dubai on the 11th of December this year, is getting really close. And we've just seen some amazing footage of John Brzenk training with Michael Todd and Derek Smith that gives us a really good indication and update on where things are at. So let's paint the picture. Before we get to this footage, let's paint the picture of what's going on. John Brzenk, the greatest arm wrestler of all time, is back. He's 57 years old now. He's come out of retirement. He's had a whole series of super matches against notable pullers, but none of the standard of Devon Larratt. I mean, let's make no mistake, Devon Larratt is by many people considered the best in the world. By almost everyone else that doesn't consider him the best of the world, they consider him at least top 2, at worst top 3 in the world. I mean, it's only Levan Saganishvili and Vitaly Laletin that really are in that conversation with Devon. So irrespective of who you are as an arm wrestling fan, Devon Larratt's a bad dude. And John Brzenk is facing him. Now, John Brzenk, the most dominant arm wrestler of all time. 550 odd titles to his name. The man's done it all. He's done everything. But can he do this? This is kind of crazy. So many people, and if you're talking about logic here, everyone says this match is too much for John. This is too big a ask. He's been out for too long. Devon's too big. Devon's too strong. John can't do it. But can he? Can he? I don't know. Let's have a look at the footage of Michael and John and Derek training, and we'll get some more information. We'll get a closer look and a better understanding of whether or not he can. So, some context about this before I show you the footage. I called Michael about half an hour ago because I needed to clarify a few things. I asked him, most importantly, the first video, the first pull we see, was that genuinely the first time you guys gripped up? And he said, yeah, it was. Okay, so that's that. And anyway, the rest will unfold on camera. So let's have a look now at John and Michael. And we'll also throw in some John and Derek. Here we go. All right, so John on the left in the straps. You can see there straight away the wrist flexion of John. Okay, it's in control of the pronator of Michael. Michael unable to drop into that full Kings because the wrist flexion of John is significant. Now, they pause here and they start to test each other's lactic acid tolerance. Again, the wrist flexion of John against the back pressure pronation, side pressure combination of Michael. Now, as you see, Michael starts to need to move. That's because John's wrist flexion is winning that battle. John's patient, John slowly takes more and more control. John goes for the kill, adds the side pressure once he feels the bleed in Michael's pronator. Now, second pull, Michael's going to adjust. Michael's going to make some changes. John's going to see if he can protect that pronation, protect that wrist flexion once again. And again, he starts off in a very similar fashion. This time, Michael really levering off the tricep, gaining height and getting into the fingers earlier of John. John adding some side and recognizing that his fingers are being compromised. And a different outcome, but balanced nonetheless. Now, on to Derek. Let's have a look. Derek Smith, big dude, outside of the strap. John Brzenk holding on, forcing the hook. Derek Smith trying to top roll, trying to get away. John Brzenk's wrist flexion, looking dominant, adds the side pressure, gets the job done. Now, that's some really interesting data there from those guys. Michael Todd, as we know, the last guy he faced was Devon Larratt. Michael Todd got crushed by the 295-pound Devon Larratt. Michael Todd himself was about 255, I think, at the time. And we'll get to that. I also want to talk about Derek. Let me quickly talk about Derek. Derek's a big dude, 6 foot a million. 400 pounds or something crazy. Maybe not 400, but close, like 360 pounds, something like that. John's holding on to him. Now that's a very significant thing, to be able to hold on to Derek outside of straps and simply force the hook. And the reason that's so significant is when we think about the context of it in relation to Devon Larratt. 2015, Devon Larratt lost to John in the WAL finals because he couldn't get to the straps. John held on. Devon scrambled and tried to run. He failed, and John pinned him whilst Devon was trying to slip. John will remember that, Devon will remember that, and what we're seeing there from John and Derek is a very good sign for John. Now back to John and Michael. As I was saying, Michael lost to Devon. Devon was huge. Devon crushed him. That was the moment that elevated Devon into the conversation of the top 3 in the world. Okay, since then, Michael Todd has added 40 pounds to his body weight. He's facing Gennady Kvikvinia, and Michael himself has declared that he's coming for Levant. He's going for the big dog. Michael's going all in. Michael's bigger, stronger than he's ever been. And John, in training, yes, I know it's training, but what we just saw was balance. Now, a pretty good degree of balance too. Oh. All right, that's a pain in the ass. Still going. Oh my goodness, talking about how to kill a video. That is exactly how you kill a video. All right, there we go, that stopped finally. So John's hand is strong. John's hand's looking very strong. So much so that his wrist flexion was able to outlast Michael's position. And it looks like they're genuinely balanced. I think if John and Michael were to have a match, you'd expect it to be balanced. So John is balanced with current version of Michael, which is bigger than the version that took on Devon. And is Devon, you gotta ask the question, is Devon gonna come in at 295 pounds again? I don't think so. I think he's coming in lighter. I don't think he's gonna be as heavy as he was when he faced Michael. So all in all, where does this leave us? Does John have a chance? Like I said earlier, if the smart money is betting, it's betting on Devon. If you're using your head and your logic, you gotta say, Devon's the bigger guy. He hasn't stopped. He's in great form. He's genuinely top 3 in the world on the overalls list. He has to be the clear favorite. But John is John. John's that hero. John is the hero of the world, of the story of arm wrestling. He's the guy that has done the impossible all his life, and he's back. And is it too crazy to think he might do the impossible again? I don't know. The way he's balanced with Michael, and the fact that he has a winning record on Devon, the fact that he beat Devon last time he faced him, the fact that he knows stylistically Devon's vulnerable to John's offensive game, all those factors, they make me start to believe. They make me want to believe. Because oh my goodness, if that is the case, can you imagine what that does? Can you imagine how much that deepens the legacy of John and what that just does to the story of everything to do with John? It's crazy. Anyway guys, let me know what you think about the match. Does John have a chance? Based on what you've seen from the footage with Michael, does he have a chance? Or am I crazy and Devon's gonna crush him? Either way, it's gonna be awesome. 11th of December, King of the Table 2, Dubai, Core Sports pay-per-view. Don't miss it.